I've been waiting for you. Just as virtue paves the path to wisdom, your deeds have brought us together once more.
Tommy respawned with another video, and today we're going to talk about Crimson Desert and the biggest problem that this game is facing. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you wouldn't have known this game has dropped, but Crimson Desert has dropped and everybody is talking about it. Near enough every person has picked this game up and they have somewhat of an opinion on it. I'm going to break everything down. I'm going to tell you what's been going around, the good, the bad, the ugly, and a little bit of a first impressions. Obviously, I haven't played this game long enough. I have played it for a few hours and I have a little bit of an opinion about it and the direction I think it's going to go down. But this video is really just to highlight what you're seeing on the internet and a lot of the hysteria behind the game, what people's opinions are, and whether or not it's true. Does it have massive issues? Is it going to be the game for you? We'll jump right into it, guys. So pretty much when Crimson Desert had its first reveal trailer, everybody, and I mean everyone, was excited for this game. The hype around this game was phenomenal. It looked fantastic. The gameplay was like pretty much nothing we've seen before. It was so innovative, it was ambitious, and that's what really caught the eye of everyone. Now, has it lived up to that expectation? To be quite honest, it's way too early to tell. Until you play this game for 200 plus hours, you're never going to know if this was fully worth it. And of course, there lies the biggest problem. Not everybody wants to play a game for that long, and not everybody has that time. And I think that's been the biggest misconception with this game. A lot of people have picked it up expecting it to be something else. And if you'd followed the previous games that these producers have made, you'll understand that that's not how they do their games. These Korean style games, they don't act this way. Dragon's Dogma suffered the same problem. Very, very solid title. And for what it does and for what it tries to achieve, it does it perfect. But that doesn't always fit every single person. We live in a society nowadays where everything is quick at the fingers. Every game is fast to get. Streamers dominate the market. They play these fast-paced action games, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Ark Raiders. These are the games that people play. They want them fast, quick, in your face, and then here comes a game that's slow. It's methodical. It makes you think. It goes at its own pace. It never forces you to do anything. You've got to think. It's intentional. Now, that doesn't to say this game is a masterpiece and this game is perfect by any stretch of imagination. It has its issues. We've seen it so far. There's been some optimization problems for everybody. Some people on consoles have reported that the graphics have not been up to scratch and there hasn't been a clear, smooth experience. And then also people on PC have reported the same things. And its lack of FPS dial and FPS limit in its settings is quite frankly pretty poor. You don't get to limit anything unless you change settings down from ultra or to medium or low. That's pretty much the only way you can affect the FPS counter in this game. So that is poor. However, in terms of its presentation and how it looks, it is remarkably stunning. You can hunt around, you can walk around into the game and just visually take a step back and have a look what it's trying to produce. It is flawless. Now, again, like I said, intentionally what these games are doing, what they want you to do, it's slow, it's thought out. It wants you to think about what you have to do with every single action. For example, when you go down into a mission, it doesn't give you a waypoint or an objective or tell you how to do it. Some of the main missions will give you a little bit of a dot point, but it makes you figure it out itself. Even the very first main mission, when you get thrown into a puzzle, it doesn't exactly guide you where to go. It tells you to find a door that your key that you have unlocks. Doesn't tell you which door, doesn't tell you where it is, but you've got to go find that door. Even the side missions are very open-ended. They make you think about it. So I've encountered so many people where you get a side mission, you get some objective from it, and then that's it. You got to go figure it out yourself. There's no holding your hand. And I think for a lot of casual gamers, that's not what they were expecting. When you play the likes of The Witcher, you play Red Dead Redemption 2, and these big titles, Skyrim, these big massive titles that have been successful in the past, they kind of guide you through. Crimson Desert isn't like that. It challenges you. It's difficult. It does not hold your hand. And so I think that's been the biggest problem for people. They were not expecting this very challenging experience where you've got to figure things out yourself. Now we jump into the combat, and that's another added layer. The combat is difficult, and especially when you increase your skills and you learn more combat, you learn more chains, which is extra buttons that you have to push in order to do the skill or the combat move. And a lot of people, again, are not ready for that. It's difficult. It can be a little bit drawn out. But again, that's what the game wants from you. It wants you to figure it out and take this game on your own stride. It doesn't want you to rush this game. Everybody's trying to rush it through. They want to finish the game in 10 hours. They want to finish the game in 15 hours. But you're not going to be able to do that. And because it slows you down, that's what the problem is. And this is a lot of a problem in modern gaming itself. Modern gaming nowadays suffers from an issue of being reviewed too quickly. We see so many companies, we see so many of the big companies like IGN, they review games. Basically, they haven't been paid enough from these publishers and they give them a poor review. So Call of Duty notoriously gets a 9 out of 10 from IGN because Activision pays them well. Streamers are in the same boat. They get paid by particular people to give them a good review. So when this game doesn't come out and do that, and it's not what people expect, and you've got to play the game for X amount of time to even understand and to appreciate it, it gets review bombed. So there's lots of kids out there that just play these Fortnites, that just play these Call of Duties, and they jump in here, and because of the hype and the expectation of the game, like I said in the trailers earlier on, people think the game is going to be something else, when really, if you know what this company is about and these style of games, this is not going to shock you. As I said, there's a large contingent of people out there that love these style of games. I'm one of them. This is not going to fail by any metric or any standard. This is going to have its fan base. It's going to have its loyal fans. So it's not going to struggle. However, because the game became so massive before its release, everybody was expecting it to be this absolute game changer for the best game of the decade. And it's always not going to live up to that expectation because it's not the game that you thought it was going to be. Biggest problem for Crimson Desert really was just how popular it got and people not really understanding what the game was about and who the game was made by. And this might offend some people, but basically casuals that have no idea about Crimson Desert and what it was and who it was made by thought this was going to be something else, and they thought it was going to be just like Western RPGs, just like these mainstream RPGs, and it's not like that. There has been far worse releases, like Cyberpunk, released in a terrible state. That game was horrible for 2 years, unplayable, but it fixed itself and it became good. This game is released fairly well. It's not too bad. There's not massive bugs. There's things that can be better, but at least very solid. What you can do in this game is exponential. You can literally go wherever you want. It doesn't hold your hand. As soon as you start, you can just go left and keep going until whatever you do. You can explore any mission you want to do. It doesn't pull you back and say, no, you have to do this mission. And that's what's really refreshing. In this day and age, you do not get games like that. So guys, this isn't for everyone. And I think that's what people are figuring out now. This game is not for everyone. It's a very, very good game and probably one of the better games you're going to play in this style of RPG. It's borderline an MMO, just basically not online. The feel and the NPCs being alive and what you can do, everything sort of interchanging and moving. It's about 5 games built into one. It's very much like The Witcher. It's very much like Red Dead. It's very much like Zelda. It's got all these combinations. That's what's going to make this game fantastic. So don't write it off. Don't listen to the reviews, because if you listen to the reviews, you're never going to jump in. And if you listen to reviews all the time, you'll never experience anything. This goes back to my point with why modern gaming is dying. Back in the days, and if you're old enough, remember going to game stores, picking up a game that you hadn't heard about, looking at the back of it and going, oh, that looks pretty good. And then you would play it, having no idea what it was, no reviews you could watch, and you'd probably experience something that was amazing. And finding games that you never thought was amazing and playing them just because you picked them up at the store and had a look. That's kind of what Crimson Desert and the magic that they're trying to recreate. You've got to give it time. You've got to give it a go. You've got to indulge yourself. But people write games off too quickly because they see a shitty review from a massive company that just gets paid by bigger companies to give them better reviews, and they think that the game is crap. If you're hesitant, if you're on the fence, give it a crack. This game will grab you. It's going to demand a lot from you, but it's worth it. I don't think there's enough of these games around nowadays, so you definitely want to give this one a try. If you're not into medieval RPGs, if you're not into fantasy RPGs, then you're not going to like this. It's pretty much plain and simple. But don't write it off just because you're seeing a review and that's what you're basing your opinion on. That's the problem with modern gaming, and that's why modern gaming is suffering. Anyway, guys, that's Tommy Respawn. That's about just wrapping this big problem up with Crimson Desert. I don't want to write this game off at all. I want people to give it a crack. It's definitely worth your time. I'm seeing a lot of hysteria about it. Jump in, give it a crack if you like these RPG styles. And if you don't, if you like shooters or whatever, then don't play it. You know, don't be surprised if you like shooters or you like something else and then you play this game and you don't like it. That's not shocking. I mean, I wouldn't try a game that's not my sort of style and then complain that I didn't like it. That just doesn't really make sense. But for some reason, that's what people are doing. But anyway, I hope this kind of clears everything up. I hope this maybe has changed your opinion on what you're thinking. If you were hesitant, maybe you'll give it a go. And if you're not, then you can move on. Anyway, that about wraps it up, guys. Just a quick review. I will do a full proper review once I get way more into this game. Obviously, it's still early days, but that about wraps it up. Tommy Respawn. Hope you enjoyed. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.